which we can see on this earth. So the term Archean, it is used to represent the rocks which have the age of 3.82, sorry, age, okay, 3.8 to 2.5 billion years. We know that the age of Earth is around 4.6 billion years. So we are getting the oldest rock types around 3.8 billion years from 2.5 billion years. So major economic minerals are concentrated along this region, I mean this Archean terrains, and it is mainly exposed in Africa, America, India, Australia and Antarctica. So when we look at the rocks exposed in this area, so you know that there are mainly three kinds of rocks on this earth. The first one is igneous. You might have studied in your high school that the rocks formed because of the solidification of magma and the sedimentary rocks. These rocks undergone some kind of erosion and it deposited in a basin, and this is called sedimentary rocks, and because of the temperature pressure changes, it may convert to metamorphic rocks. So when we look at the rocks in this area, we can find mainly two kinds of rocks. One is high-grade metamorphic and another one is low-grade metamorphics. This is the map of India. In my study area mainly, this is my study area. This is called Dawa Craton. So I mainly studied about the evolution of this area, how this area evolved. So this is the geological map. I am not going to discuss in detail about the characteristics of this craton. So I will explain only the tectonic model proposed for the evolution of this area. So there are mainly two kinds of models. One is plate tectonic models. So based on plate tectonic models, what we are doing is because of the movement of plates, all the geological features on this earth were formed. That means you might have heard that because of the collision of Indian plate with the Eurasian plate, the Himalaya was formed. Just like that, based on the plate tectonic movements, the geological features like trenches, mountains, mid-oceanic ridges formed. So another model is a hot orogen model. This one mainly explained based on the movements of magma or lava. This is the two main tectonic models for the evolution of Archean. So my research target is to understand which is the best possible model for the evolution of this kind of Archean terrain. This is the objective of my study area. So what we are doing is we will go to the field and we will try to examine the rocks, and we will try to find what are the minerals in that rock, and we will try what are the structures in that rock, and we will collect the sample from the field, and we just make thin section for that rocks, and we'll try to understand the bulk geochemistry and the age of rock. This is the research I did for my PhD. So this is the map of my study area, and these are the major rock types which we can find in my study area. So as you can see, this is my study area. So we did a detailed geological investigation along that area to understand what are the rock types, how this area was evolved. So we could find many kinds of rock types in this area, and we just analyzed. So we just walked through these two canal sections to understand the major rock types, and we studied about the structures, everything. And after that, I collected the samples from that area to understand what are the minerals. So these are the thin sections. So this one, so in these thin sections, you can find out what are the major minerals in that rock. And after that, I powdered the sample to understand the chemistry of that rock. So based on the chemistry, we can understand in what condition this rocks was formed, in trench or any other geological situation. How these rocks were formed, we can understand based on the geochemistry. And after that, what I did is I analyzed the age of rocks based on shrimp uranium lead geochronology. This one, what we are doing is we just understand the concentration of uranium and lead and based on the radioactive decay, we will try to understand how this, what is the age of the rock. This is the geological, the cathodoluminescence of these zircons. Because I selected zircon, this is a radioactive mineral, and when it crystallizes, when it's formed, it will not incorporate any lead. So by studying the lead content and the uranium content, we can understand the age of the rock. And based on the studies, what I found is this area was formed around 3.3 Ga, and after that there is a magmatism on the east of the study area around 2.6 to 2.5 Ga, and these rocks, because of the erosion, the rocks along the east, it has undergone some kind of erosion and it deposited along the west of the study area. After that there is a magmatic, what can I say, there is a shearing, there is a structural movement between this 3.3 Ga and 2.5 Ga rocks, and after that there is a tectonic disturbance at 660 Ma to 610 Ma. So this is the result. I don't know, it's kind of theoretical work, so it would be really difficult for me. How can I explain this to you? So, and based on that, I proposed a model, how this area was evolved. Well, so what happens at 2.65 to 2.58 Ga, and what happens at 2.58 to 2.5 Ga, and what happens at 660 to 610 Ma. And so based on my study, my final conclusion is, so we have, I have compared these two models, which is the most, which model would be suitable for the evolution of the Craton, and I found that this one, the east, not plate tectonic model, because at the time of Archean, the crust was very thin. So there will not be any kind of plate tectonic movements on that time, because the crust was very thin, there is no plate. So the best suitable model for the evolution of the Craton may be this one, hot orogen model. This was my final conclusion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So we are now open public questions.
Okay.
Do you have any economical, like mining or after related to this your study?
Yes. Actually, it was not my topic, but as you know, in South India, we have many economically important minerals in this study area. For example, the gold we can get, there are many mines like Kolar gold mine. It has around the depth of 8 kilometers. So we are exploring the gold for many years in that in that area. And there are many other economically important minerals like copper, iron, etc. in this study area. So mainly we are getting these economically important minerals in this kind of Archean terrain. Like in South Africa also, there is a big Archean terrain. So we are exploring many kinds of economically important minerals on this kind of area. But now,
So in continental drift theory,
yes,
it says us that okay, some continents just followed each other,
yes,
like Himalayas.
yes,
and another one just departed away.
yes, absolutely.
Some portion. Okay. So did you compare your rock characteristics with the Eurasian, the continent?
Yes.
Did you compare the rock characteristics, because you are working on South Indian continent part?
Yes.
So you characterize the characterization of rock. So did you compare this characterization with the rock from Eurasia continent?
Yes, actually, the rocks present in the Eurasia, it was formed around maybe around very recent, around 300 or 400 million years back. So Himalaya formed very recently. But the rock types in our study area is kind of old. So based on the age we can compare, for example, these are very younger, but these kind of rocks, I mean, at that time, the situation, I mean, the continent was not at the same place where now, because it is in a different place. So we are getting only in some portion of the rocks of Archean. So I didn't compare in my research about the characteristic of my rock types with the Eurasia.
Okay. Okay. So did you give any fossil sample?
Actually, in Archean and Proterozoic, we have been not getting any kinds of fossils, because we started to get the fossil only at 660 million. That is called Cambrian explosion. So only after that we are getting fossils. But before that there was no bone. I mean no vertebrates. Because there is only viruses we are getting. We call stromatolites in Archean and Proterozoic. Only in 660 we are getting the fossils. So we are not getting any kinds of fossils in my rock types, except some viruses called stromatolites. That is the only thing we are getting as a, living organism. So we don't have any evidence that whether the living things is there at that time or not. Because this is a huge time from 4.6 to 660 million years. That may around maybe. So we are getting the living things only after 660 Very recent.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
I just want to make one correction maybe. The age of your rock, 3.6, maybe not the oldest one on the earth. Because so far I know in Australia now, very recently, it was discovered 4.2 billion years.
Actually, as far as I know, the age of rocks we calculated not because of the age of the rocks on this earth, because of the meteorites, I think. We decide 4.6 as the age of earth because of the meteorites, but the oldest rock types, I don't know, this is maybe the recent research that 4.2 billion is rocks, but as far as I know, the 3.8 is from Greenland. That is the oldest rock types. Maybe you are right, I don't know exactly about the 4.2 billion years rock.
Same type of mineral you discussed about, the same technique, uranium lake.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Australia.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for nice presentation. So now we will proceed to the oral talks. So until now we're invited speakers. Now we have 4 oral talks. The time is slightly shorter. Kindly take care. And I will now invite Muhammad Khalid Alim from JIC Ishikawa, Cooperative Value in Academic Library Service in Knowledge Management Perspective.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Muhammad Khalid Alam and I'm from JIS, Japan Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, Ishikawa.
Use the microphone.
Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you to IX for arranging this environment, for interactive environment for creating value among us. Actually, my research topic is, my background is from library science, library and information science, so I'm trying to add something in my subject field, and that is co-creating value in academic library service. And as I'm from the School of Knowledge Science, I'm trying to integrate that concept in the library science. First of all, I'm seeking apology because my research failed to bring some proteins, vitamins, or minerals in here, because most of the research are like that. This is my title. Background. My background, the subject area is in the academic libraries. There is the library that serve in the academic institutions, and the academic libraries of current libraries facing challenges like declining gate counts, that is declining the usage, and fall of circulation, transition into digitalization, and squeezing budget. These are the current problem of academic libraries. And Google has come as a competitor of the academic library, because you're the people using library but don't want to go to the library because Google is your library. Yeah, and libraries users are now very technology savvy, and we determine them as a net generation. You guys are net generation to the library. And digital form and its open access through the internet, it has changed your habits. You mean the library users. Actually, I'm saying like that. So these are the problems, and another problem is the library sense. In the library sense, that is, libraries actually still serving the users, but they are serving the one size service to different size user groups. Because users are undergraduates, graduates, researchers, faculties like this, but we are serving the same size or the same service after long years like this. So how to survive? How we can change this situation? Within this, we can take the knowledge management in here, like because knowledge management gather ample amount of data about the user, so that we can get the idea about the user needs, and a library can better understand the expectations of the library users from there. And they have to change or they have to grade the more concentration in library marketing. Actually, they need to introduce a different strategy in their library marketing. And for why? Because of value creation. They need to create value with their user. That resulting value that can be therefore be thought to be created value by the user and librarian. Actually, value needs to be created with the librarian and the user together, not separately. But librarian don't ask you anything. I think so. So this is the objective of my research. We have planned to develop a conceptual framework, first of all, and more specific objectives in here are other objectives are understanding the role of KM in fostering value co-creation, how KM can foster value co-creation in here, and to integrate KM process in value co-creation synergy. Literature review, knowledge management. Here the concept of knowledge management. Here you can see the here we can see the Nonaka and Takeuchi. There is a Japanese professor of Hitotsubashi University, Professor Ikujiro Nonaka. He has given a definition here. That is, knowledge management is the capability of an organization to create new knowledge and disseminate it throughout the organization and embody it in products, services, and systems. So this is the knowledge management, and we have developed a working definition for our research. That is, why knowledge management? We define knowledge management as a process of creating, capturing, storing, and utilizing organizational knowledge-based assets or resource. Because organization has a lots of type of knowledge resource, and they have to use these resources for value co-creation in an organization for the sake of customer and service supplier value co-creation. Now the value co-creation concept here. First of all, we need to know what is value. Actually, we know the service provider or the product supplier, they give us value-added service. We have heard that. So, value-added service, that is, they add value in their product or services, and they offer this product or services to us. But in our research, we have taken another value lens in here, that is from the service dominant logic. It's the new logic of marketing that this says that value it has been created by market-facing public and private and public actors, and that integrates operant and operant resources. And to this value co-creation is been defined by Lash and Vargo. It is value co-creation occurs through the integration of resources like this, and this integration of resources, these resources are operant and operant resources. Actually, I have to fly like this way. What is operant resources? Knowledge is been classified in two ways like this, the tacit knowledge and the explicit knowledge in here. Tacit knowledge, that is, these are experience, personal experience, know-how, that is skills, insights and personal beliefs, that is located in our head. And explicit knowledge, that is published actually. Those published knowledge are explicit knowledge. And operant resource, actually these are tacit knowledge. And explicit knowledge are operant resources that are published knowledge, like this. And for the developing our conceptual framework, we have taken a knowledge management model, that is SECI model of Nonaka, Toyama and Kono. This is the knowledge management model. In here, the socialization process, externalization, combination and internalization. We can explain, take a short explanation in here. Socialization confers tacit knowledge to tacit. Externalization, articulate knowledge, that is tacit to explicit. Here, the explicit to explicit, and internalization brings the explicit to tacit knowledge. It is the basic SECI model. Here, the individual level interaction, and here the grouped individual level interaction, here the group level interaction, and here is the individual level decision. Here is the value co-creation model in here. This is the firm and this is the customer. They are interacting in here, and this is the service the firm is providing to the customer. And customer here co-creating value. They co-create together the value in here. Just taking a lens in here for describing our model, future model. Demand-driven acquisition. Actually, library collect their materials, the books and the journals like this. If they know they want to try to know that customer demand for their acquisition. So this is called demand-driven acquisition. When the customer demand the materials, they try to acquire, collect those. And in this way, the tools they help, like this Amazon help for taking or collecting books, like Google Books, eBrary. It is a 740,000 ebooks collection. It is a vendor, and Academic Complete. It is also a vendor of part of eBrary that provides use data. Just explain the. Okay. This is my framework. Just in short, here the individual level instruction interaction in here, librarian and customer. Librarian want to know from the customer what materials do you need, like this. And here, individual to customer or the group level interaction. Here, the librarians get the data on usage and assign rating from the e-library or library complete databases. These are when the user use this type of databases or other vendor databases, libraries get data from their database that who are the users, how many books or how many materials have been used in here. Like this, supplier provide the data about the usage. Here, the customer engage in discussion with the librarians. they need books or like this way, and librarians arrange groups discussion to determine the needs. And in this way, here the librarian takes the decision how to purchase, what materials to purchase, what materials to collect like this. And this is the librarian's decision he takes upon this group data, upon this group needs like this. And the total process is a value co-creation process, that is to create value with the customer, to determine what materials are needed in here. It is just we need to collect the demand from the customer like this. There is the conclusions in here. We get a concept, the integrated concept for value co-creation with the COIAN, and like this. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. So we are already running short of time, but I can allow one quick question if needed. Okay, so we will proceed to the next speaker due to shortage of time. Thank you very much. So next speaker is Salwana Hassan from University of Technology, Malaysia. And the topic is Synergistic Model for Sustainable Micro Business for Women Enterprise. She's not present? Okay. Okay, we proceed to the next one. So, Mr. Ali Murtaza Rasool from Saitama University. And the topic of the research is behavior of compacted unsaturated soil in isotropic compression, cyclic and monocyclic shear loading sequence in undrained conditions.
Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone, my name is Ali Murtaza Rasool. I'm from Saitama University, and today I'm going to present my research on behavior of compacted unsaturated soils in isotropic compression, cyclic and monotonic shear loading sequences in undrained conditions. Basically, unsaturated soils are generally consists of air, water and soil. The stress strain variable for unsaturated soils are net stress and metric suction. The straight boundary surface for unsaturated soil. In case of unsaturated soil to soil void ratio, moisture content is also a parameter. Therefore, in order to draw straight boundary surface, I have changed the stress history and tried to achieve same moisture content. The shear behavior was then studied with different void ratios. This is the conceptual or schematic diagram of my triaxial test operators. I have performed this research on unsaturated, newly built triaxial test operators. The operators consists of inner cell, outer cell, then which was further connected with the 4 air pressure transducer, 4 water pressure transducer, and the volume change of the specimen was measured by using LCDPT. LCDPT is low capacity differential pressure transducer. The main features of this apparatus was the top cap and the pedestal. In top cap we have PTFE sheet, which is which allows only the flow of air, but it resists the flow of the water. And in the pedestal we have used the membrane filter. The main feature of this membrane filter was it allows only the flow of water, but it resists the flow of the air. And for the measurement of the change of the volume, we have used low capacity differential pressure transducer, which measures the volume change by the level difference of the water. So here I will explain some triaxial test procedure. First, initial section was measured, then 4 air pressure was increased along with the cell pressure. This is known as axis translation technique. Then cell pressure was further increased in steps. After that, the first specimen was consolidated to 100